Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chop and Slice. I am one of the co-hosts, Michael, and this is
Brandon.
We are here to talk about the brand new horror movie, Megan.
Newly released Megan. Just saw it at the theater. I thought it was pretty decent. So we're going to dive right into it.
So let's start. So we meet our main characters, Katie and Gemma, pretty quick off the bat. Backstory on Katie is her parents died going up the mountain in a car accident, hit by a truck. And then you see, Gemma, she's working on this new project.
Yeah, she works with lots of technology and
working for this company called Funky, which is, I don't know, a weird name for a toy company. Funky.
Yeah.
Funki. Just want to remind you guys, we also did not get a chance to take notes, so it's kind of off the cuff, off the noggin. So if we make some mistakes on the way, we apologize.
And we only seen this movie once.
Only saw it once, so there might be a little hiccups if we don't remember the names or whatnot and so forth. So, so we see Gemma, she's working on a project, stressing out about her job situation. She's got to get a new project out for her boss, David, for the company. And David's kind of a douchebag jerk up her ass about this.
Yeah.
And then Katie, the little girl, who is Gemma's niece, and I believe she's 9 years old in this movie. She is forced to go live with Gemma, who, off the bat, you see she's not really prepared to be a mom. She doesn't have any toys for Katie. She's kind of just focused on a career at this point.
And also, Gemma doesn't quite get along with the neighbor. That's also pretty important.
Yeah, the neighbor is kind of like this old woman who's just kind of bitchy. And
Well, Gemma was being kind of a bitch, too, but
yeah, don't put chemicals in her yard. So then she's got a big mean dog as well, so named Dewey. Dewey! She just kept screaming his name. That got annoying in the movie. I was like, all right, enough with this Dewey. So basically, Katie.
She doesn't have any toys to play with, and all she's got up there are just collectibles, and she's got this therapist that comes over, to check up on her and to find out if this is a suitable home for her.
Which it doesn't look so great in the beginning. Gemma's kind of learning on how to be a mom and take care of Katie. And then she introduces Katie to this brand new toy, Bruce.
Yep, Bruce, which is controlled manually.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I like how that they showed all the intricacies of that process.
And one thing we forgot to mention, this is a spoiler review, so sorry for the...
spoiler review, guys. Spoiler review on Megan. We could do a spoiler-free. Maybe we'll do that, but who knows. But this is spoiler, guys. We didn't really get into anything you wouldn't find out in the first 2 minutes of the movie. So, you see Bruce. So at that point, Gemma is pretty smart engineer. She knows what she's doing with technology, it seems like.
Yeah.
She's pretty good on that computer and databases and such like that, putting information together. So she has this idea, because she can't really be as much of a mom to Katie as she'd like to be. So we see her come up with this idea for Megan. This toy, Megan.
Yep. She begins to build it.
Along with her friends.
To kind of give her a friend, right?
Yeah.
To maybe help her through the grieving process of losing her parents. Because that's got to be hard for, a kid that age.
A 9-year-old, yeah, to go live with your aunt that you barely know, because it's as we find out, Gemma and her sister never really had a good relationship. It seemed like they were kind of distant from
Kind
each
of rocky.
other. Yeah, so, because she's always focused on her career and such. She doesn't, which is interesting, they didn't even introduce, like, a boyfriend. She didn't even have a boyfriend, which I thought...
Probably because she's so, like, caught up in her work all the time, you know? Like, she doesn't have time for a relationship or kids or...
I kind of like that idea that they didn't have, like, some douchebag coming in. Listen, this kid needs discipline and all that.
Right.
I'm glad they didn't decide to go with that. So this was a little bit different in that aspect.
It's about Gemma and Katie, you know?
Yeah, building on their relationship. So, along with her friends from work, Tess and Cole, they construct and build this robot doll, named Megan. And along the process, I believe it was originally designed just for Katie. Then she thought, you know what, this could work for the project I'm working on right now. We need a new rollout for the company, and this seemed like it would work.
But I don't see how she was able to just make that for Megan, like off the company's, or not Megan, Katie, off the company's money.
Well, she already had that in the works, I believe, because she had all the technology downloaded and all that already ready and set to go, and she had all the silicone masks and the wigs and stuff. So I don't really think it was made off the company's dime at that point. I think she already had it all mapped out from stuff. She just kind of whipped up Megan real quick. I wish it was more of a
and didn't
process.
work out all the kinks.
No, she felt like she didn't have time because her boss was really pushing her. You could see her boss emailing her constantly on the computer. Hey, notice, project due. I need a new toy. So then, see this really cool scene where they're at Gemma's giving this demonstration of Megan, how the doll works and such.
And they're pretty impressed.
It's pretty cool. Megan's a pretty smart robot, I would say.
Very advanced.
Yeah, and she, seems very friendly in the beginning. A lot of personality, actually. She seems like she really cares about Katie. She's actually there for her. Yeah.
And listens to her and, understands and relates and all that stuff.
Seems like a very friendly doll. But later, we come to find out that's not the case. Because as soon as she found out Katie's parents died, from Gemma and her friends discussing what happened, she starts to find out what death is about and stuff like that. Which kind of reminds me of the scene from the Child's Play remake when they're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre and he's seeing the stabbing motions. And now this movie was very similar to me. It felt like Child's Play remake.
Yeah.
To me, because of the robot and the engineering that went behind it and how it functions and how it cares for Andy, just like how Megan cares for Katie. Very similar in that aspect.
Andy and Katie kind of rhymes.
Andy and Katie. But I would say the Megan doll was cooler. You could do a lot more,
Yeah.
I dug the Megan doll. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool idea.
Yeah, I liked it. I remember when I first saw the trailer for it, I was scrolling through Facebook. I was like, wow, this looks really cool.
Yeah. Also, I definitely like the there's one scene where she's not on like this retreat, but she's going at a camp. It's not a camp, but it's...
I know what you're talking about. It's just where the kids get together and
a bunch of kids from the area got together, went on like a little adventure. And then
I think they were searching for chestnuts.
Yeah. Then one wise kid, got the idea to pick on Katie. Brandon, whatever his name was, he was a jerk. Got the idea to pick on Katie, and then mess with the Megan doll.
Which, not a smart move on
he
his
paid
part.
the price.
But when she's pulling his ear off, like, you can tell that ear was elastic, though.
Yeah.
It was like, that didn't
It was
look
kind of
very
cool
real.
how she pulled off his ear and then just threw it to the side. Then chased him down and then into the road, and he ended up getting whacked by a truck or a car or whatever. It was
But this was after where she killed the dog, though.
Oh yeah, she did kill the neighbor's dog, Dewey. That was pretty vicious how she just grabbed him. Just
Right after, and then bit Katie, and that
Yeah.
kind of stirred things up.
Yeah, Megan is really strong. Like, that doll is really, really strong in this, which I don't know how you get up to program a doll to be strong, but
Well, I work with robotic arms, and they are very strong.
I
It's
don't
still a robotic arm, and those do get very strong. So yeah, she kills the dog. Didn't exactly kill Brandon, but caused him to die.
yeah, it caused him to die. And, one weird thing is Megan doesn't really admit to killing anybody because she doesn't look at that as killing them. She looks at that as solving the solution.
Right.
Or a solution to the problem. So, yeah, and she's disobedient to Gemma.
Yeah, she just kind of turns herself on and off whenever.
Yeah, Gemma has the option to turn off Megan whenever she'd like, but then Megan
Starts becoming, as time goes on, she starts to become more and more uncooperative.
she's like, Megan, turn off. Megan's like, now hold on a minute.
Yeah, hold on.
Wait a minute.
I'm still talking.
Yeah. And Megan's very sarcastic, too. And
Yeah, I
she would
kinda
always
like
talk back to Gemma. Gemma would try to tell Katie something. Well, actually, it's healthy for a kid to, whatever. I don't know.
Not eat vegetables when they don't want.
You should be resting and this and that. And Megan actually became like a real person. And it touched on the fact that when a kid loses their parents, they want to latch on to something. And the idea that Katie latched on to a robotic doll is kind of sad because that's not... You want to attach yourself to a person that can help you. And because Gemma wasn't prepared to be there for Katie. She was all worried about her job, this and that. We've seen this trope before. So she latched herself onto Megan, who was always there for Katie. Kind of sad to think about that, but yeah. Also, another thing with this movie, it was pretty funny. I looked at it as more of a comedy, because unfortunately a lot of kills were off screen. It really wasn't gory, because it was originally intended to be a rated R film, but they pulled it back because of how, popular it was becoming. So they pulled it back to a PG-13 environment.
And I feel like the movie would have been better had it been rated
Yes, much better. I wish...
R. I wish it was rated R.
I'm sure they will have a director's cut.
Hopefully. I'm hoping for
unrated
that.
version. I'm sure they will. They'll keep the original scenes. Because they had to go back and reshoot everything. So, I'm sure they'll have the original scenes, which will be a plus. Because a lot of the kills, you just didn't see everything. Even the...
There was way too much off-screen kills.
Yeah. When she was killing the neighbor, that was cool. Like, I like the nail through the hand.
And then spraying her with the chemicals.
Yeah, but it just cut off right after that, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. So...
It would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't so off-screen. But the Megan doll was really cool. Really, really cool. A concept I hope we never, ever see in real life. I think that
And
would
we're getting there.
Yeah, and I hope
That's a scary
we
thing.
don't get there, and I hope that gets put to an end. 'Cause that is very, very scary.
Very dangerous.
So later on in the movie, we see David, Gemma's boss, is supposed to hold this big, grand premiere opening for Megan.
That's the other thing. They want to sell these for $10,000 a pop. Like, I would think something like that would be a lot more than $10,000. That's
Right.
very high piece of technology there.
Yeah, and literally, Megan doll can sense your emotions, what you're feeling at that point, if you're in danger, stuff like that. In a way, it's smarter than your average human.
Yeah, because it knows anything. I think it can, like, search the web and...
Yeah, it can search the web itself, which is scary that a computer can control itself to think. That's
and
scary.
learn. I mean, it's artificial intelligence, so...
Yep.
You know, it's...
That's really scary. She drove a car by herself. She can...
I love that scene. She gets in that car like a boss.
Yeah. She was playing the piano. Did you notice she was doing the score of Like Toy Soldiers?
No, that I didn't.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you in the movie theater, but yeah, the little piano song she was playing was...
No, I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Huh,
that was kind of cool. I was like, yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, like I said, she can play the piano. She can run. She can do flips. We saw her doing...
those sweet dance moves.
Yeah, she was dancing.
That became a big meme.
Yeah. You'll probably see Megan with Bully Maguire. I can already see the video of them
Maguire, no.
doing the dance moves together. That would be cool.
That'd be horrible.
We only see 4 deaths in this movie. Well, if you want to not include the dog. You got the neighbor. You got the boss, David. You got...
she killed the guy in the elevator.
Yeah, one of his lackeys, David's lackey. And,
if you want to count Brandon.
Yeah. So not a whole lot of kills. Unfortunately, I wouldn't even say this was really a horror movie, per se. It was, but...
It was thriller.
It was thriller. It wasn't really scary at all.
No. I think anyone could have watched this.
She had a creepy little vibe to her. But yeah, and then at the end was pretty cool when they were battling and everything. Man, Megan is really strong. She is a strong doll. She was overpowering dudes. She was
yeah, just throwing people around.
Yep. That was cool in that one scene where Tess and Cole are, hooking up Megan to the machine and then pulling off the cords or whatever. And then Megan wraps around one of the... Was it cord or something?
Yeah, it was like a cord, wrapped it around his neck. She did it so fast, too. Like, she just was in and out.
Yeah, and she has some... She can fight. It's pretty impressive. And then, we also see Katie. Like, this was in the middle of the movie. I know we're jumping around. But like I said, we didn't have notes. This was our first time seeing the film. We see Katie without the Megan doll experiencing some of the, displeasures of not being around Megan. She got too attached to a doll, which is kind of scary. Mm-hmm. Like, she didn't even have time to process that her parents died.
Because she's just too attached to this doll now.
And like Gemma says, it's not a replacement. It's not used to replace.
It's just a distraction.
And, we see the effects on what Katie's gone through, losing her parents. And I think Katie really realizes, this is just a doll. And I really miss my parents. And it's okay to feel bad about losing your parents. And then we see Gemma have that conversation with her, like, I am here for you. I'm ready to step up. And we don't need Megan. So I thought that was pretty touching. But yeah, the end battle with Megan and Gemma is pretty interesting. Also, another cool ability we saw of Megan is she can fake voices.
Yeah.
She can use voices that she's heard in the past to frame it as her being somebody else.
Yeah, that was very cool. Interesting.
So we see the end battle between Megan and Gemma take place in the garage, or the workspace of Gemma. And that's where we see, they're fighting. Megan's coming apart as a robot. She's hitting her with chainsaws, all this stuff.
Yeah, ripped a chunk of her hair out.
And then we see Katie walk in the room and then say, we got another part of the family we didn't tell you about. And then Bruce shows up. She can control the robot Bruce. And then
just ripped Megan in half.
Bruce just rips Megan in half. And then this really reminds me of the original Child's Play, is Megan was not dead. Just kept coming back. Finally, they put her
we
down.
all knew that wasn't over.
Yeah, that was pretty sick how he ripped her in half. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and then she gets up just crawling on her hands.
Yep, and then, she just kept coming back. And then finally, Katie stabs her with, I don't know.
That core that was in her head that was kind of like her brain functioning.
Yeah, stabs her, and then that is the end of Megan. Possibly.
They
didn't really leave off a cliffhanger other than
that light that on that little mini robot that she had. I forgot what she called it, but you just see the light.
Also, what else is interesting is that little lackey for David, his assistant. He was going behind his back and sending out information, leaking to other companies what this project was. So I'm wondering if the other company will now create its own Megan, and we will see a return. That will be interesting.
And honestly, if they do go with a sequel, they should definitely go with that route that you were just talking about.
Yeah, Megan 2. And I think it would be cool. This movie did make a boatload of money, dude. This movie is big. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's a movie. What you expect is what you're gonna get. I'll tell you that right now. It's very similar to the Child's Play remake, with the whole artificial intelligence.
Yes.
It controls itself, essentially. So very similar. Megan is really cool. I really dug the.
I dig her.
Yeah, and
we're starting to come out with some pretty good slashers lately. We're coming out with Art the Clown here. He's starting to, make some good steps. Now we got Megan. I think the future of slasher films are looking pretty bright. New slashers are being born.
Yep. Even if they're based off old slashers,
it's still cool. It's a new generation.
Megan was good for what it was. Man, I'd hate to see a full-size Megan doll. You might have to get one for the adult men, if you know what I mean. A full-size Megan doll.
Yeah, I'd have to get one. Maybe without the artificial intelligence.
Yeah, maybe.
But we got those. So
maybe one that won't kill you.
Yeah, right. So with that, you want to get to the rating?
Yeah, like I said, I might have to see this movie again. Well, I will, because I definitely enjoyed it. I'll give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a little Child's Play-esque. Anytime you make a doll that is in that realm that kills people, it'll get compared naturally to Child's Play. But I don't really even feel like it was a knockoff of the original Child's Play. It was more like the Child's Play remake. Very, very similar. And I actually didn't really like that Child's Play remake. I like this one a lot better because I just think it's just a better movie. The quality of the movie is better. The characters I really felt like had a lot of depth to them. Katie was really, really good, really well acted movie. So, Brandon, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10.
Woo!
8.5 out of 10. I definitely enjoyed this movie. It is pretty much what I thought. Not 10 out of 10, but it was good. What I think could have really boosted this movie and made it better is if it was rated R. I feel like that could have really gotten my score up if it, was a little bit more raw. You know what I mean?
You like it raw.
I do. you know, it would have been better if it was more like a Terrifier, I think. But it was a good thriller. I liked it. Just, yeah, other than that, I mean, and it was, like you said, it's very similar to the Child's Play remake, which I enjoyed. You know, because I thought it was kind of more refreshing for the fact that Chucky became a robot. You know, they didn't try to copy and paste the original. So I respected that they tried to go with something new, and now Megan is here capitalizing on it.
It even had the same, like, kind of ending where Chucky turns his back on Andy, and in this movie, Megan turns her back on Katie.
Yeah, there was a lot of similarities. But yeah, this, and I'm not a real big fan of, like, the Annabelle movies, because I'm mostly not into the supernatural horror movies, but Megan is something I've been waiting for a long time, because Megan is what I wanted Annabelle to be. But, so I'm glad that we got, like, you know, a female doll slasher. So it's pretty cool. And that's not Tiffany. That's when they just got stupid. But a good serious one.
Yeah.
It was
This
good.
very well done, well made. So with that being said, that gives us an official chop and slice rating of 16.5
out of 20.
Out of 20. That's pretty good. Megan was a very, very solid film. I enjoyed it for a first time viewing. Maybe not so much on the second time because you already know everything. It's like typical with any movie, but I did enjoy it. First time watch. Go out and go see it, guys. It's definitely worth the watch. We'll be discussing this movie in the future, you know, possibly on podcasts and stuff like that. But yeah, go see Megan.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Go see it, and yeah, just make sure you're checking out the toys you buy from now on. You never know what might happen with them.
Yep, technology is getting better and better every day.
Yep, and that being said, if you guys like to, please like and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this review of Megan, spoiler review. Like I said, you should be watching it. You shouldn't be listening to this if you haven't seen it. Go see it if you're still here, and we will see you guys later.
And just one more thing. Always remember that it's nice to have a friend.
Until the end. Later, guys.